What's up, you guys? Saj the Boss here, and today I'm doing another special movie review. And this movie, without further ado, this movie is none other than Elvis Presley, or the Elvis Movie. Okay, guys, if you don't know about this movie stars a wonderful, talented actor, Austin Butler. Austin Butler is pretty much new to the movie industry and new to Hollywood, I think. But he portrays Elvis to a T. And also, this movie also is non-spoiler review. And this movie also stars the wonderful and notorious legend of Hollywood himself, Tom Hanks, as his manager, the Colonel Parker. Yes, so those are the main characters in this movie. The whole plot of this movie follows Elvis's whole entire life to death, and the whole journey, how he became the king of rock and roll, the king of music, the man of many dance moves, the man who has charismatic personality, a guy who's photographic everywhere, a photographic person, and a really nice, humble man. He is well respected in all the world, and he represents equality. That's who Elvis Presley is, and that's the whole plot. Okay, guys, with that being said, so going into this movie, for me, Elvis Presley, I knew of him as a kid. Like, I grew up knowing of Elvis Presley. And it wasn't because of recent years I really discovered about who he is. Like, I know some of his classic songs. The person that kind of got me more interested in him is Uncle Jesse, you know. I gotta say, it's Uncle Jesse kind of spread my love more for Elvis. But this movie does it justice for me. This actually introduces me to a man I never saw growing up. A man that we all call the king of rock and roll, the guy you can lose your minds off of. And that's what Elvis is. He is that man. And I gotta say, going to this movie, the trailers look phenomenal, and this movie is spectacular. Okay, guys, things I liked about this movie. There is so much I loved about this movie. My number one thing is equality and diversity. Like, this theme was my favorite powerhouse theme of this movie. I just can't tell you enough how good the diversity and equality message is. Because if you don't know this already, this movie actually takes place during the segregation times, which, if you don't know already, is one of the time in American society that that we couldn't be together. Like, African Americans and us can't be together, which is a little bit sad and disappointing. It's a very sad and dark time, and you gotta say, this movie does the darkness to the T. It actually foreshadows a ton of events that happened through Elvis's life that are ironic, like from Martin Luther King to JFK, and so many other things that can be really spoken and shooken about this guy's life. I don't want to give too much away if you didn't know about this guy. You might already know about him already, but he just does a lot on this movie. Another thing I really enjoyed is one thing I really enjoyed about this movie is the cinematography. The cinematography, guys, holy cow. It was some of the most stunning cinematography experiences I have ever seen in a movie. Like, this movie cinematography compared to Top Gun Maverick, which is my second favorite movie of this year. Wow, it says a lot. It says a lot about how the Hollywood industry evolves. This movie actually feels like you're set back in the early 70s and late 50s and early 60s. It sets you back. You feel like you're in time. It feels like you're in a different era. It makes you feel like you're a different point of view of your life, point of view of Elvis Presley, which is really another cool thing too. I'm a really big fan of biographies. This is a biography style movie, and I just love history in general. That's probably why I love this movie a whole lot. So, guys, going over the characters really fast. Austin Butler, he actually was in iCarly. He was actually in iCarly. If you don't know that, believe it or not, he's actually in iCarly. This man portrayed Elvis to a T. You know how Elvis moves around on stage? He did that to a T. He did that to a T. And holy cow, what an actor. This guy deserves an Oscar ASP, like ASAP. You know, this guy needs an Oscar ASAP. And so does my boy Tom Hanks for a supporting role. Like, Tom Hanks as Parker, I'm like learning about that character as well. I'm like, holy cow, I didn't know about Tom Hanks's character. I had no idea about Tom Hanks's character at all until watching this movie. Like, I had no idea he had a manager. Elvis had a manager. Like, this character was really groundbreaking. He will shock you. I don't want to give too much away, but holy smokes, he was incredible. It also follows Elvis's family as well, including his wife, Priscilla. Forget his name, Priscilla. Follows Priscilla and his daughter. Oh man, the wife was portrayed pretty well. I didn't know too much about the wife, but she was portrayed really well in this movie. The cast, the ensemble cast, literally deserves a whole Oscar for Best Picture. In my opinion, Best Picture right there. Okay, guys, so those are the things I liked about the movie. There's anything I didn't like about the movie? No, not a lot. There's like a little thing I kind of say they added popular music back to it, but I thought like classical like pop music, like rap. They added rap to it. I'm like, it actually makes sense for what you're going through with this movie. But I don't know if it's necessarily included because sometimes they feel like, whoa, I'm in the 2000s. I'm like, no, I'm actually in the 1950s. Kind of takes you back a second. You gotta hold your breath. I'm like, yeah, there I am. You go back to the upside down. Okay, so yes, that is pretty much what I can say about gripes. Okay, with all that being said, this movie for me literally had me shooken after watching this in theaters. My face was frozen. I was shook and inspired by Elvis Presley after this movie. This movie will shock you. It make your mind go blown. It literally just makes you feel like, holy cow. It just makes you feel incredible. It makes you feel like you understand where the world is today. And it makes you feel like this man is just like a gentle giant. He's a sweetheart. He's a man of many things. Like, honestly, this movie's a journey, a timeline, if you will. This was what this movie is. And how would I recommend this movie? I would recommend it to everybody who does not know about Elvis Presley, a person you want to introduce yourself to Elvis Presley. I would not recommend it to younger audience members, not quite yet, until they probably hit maturity, maybe middle school, they can start watching this movie. There's some scenes you might want to talk to your children about because it's really dark. Some of the events are pretty dark. There's dark times in the United States, dark times in all sorts of musicians' lives. They all face that darkness at some point. But there is darkness, there's light at the end of the tunnel, and this movie represents that light at the end of the tunnel. With that being said, this movie is 100% 10 out of 10. Best film I ever saw in the theater of 2022. It has to be one of my new favorite movies of all time. With that being said, also Top Gun 2. Top Gun 2 is also one of my new favorite movies of all time. With that being said, I'm out of here, and hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. And let me know what you guys think about Elvis Presley's movie, Elvis. Awesome brother. Holy cow, this guy deserves Best Actor right there. With that being said, I'm out of here, and thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more movies reviews like this, and I'll see you guys later for more. Thank you, bye.